Hey, what's up, fam? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me here today on Tommy Bites TV and Homestead. I'm gonna put that back in there, Homestead. I want you guys to get yourselves prepared. Are you prepared for this winter? A lot of people are having deep freezes. Some people are having mild winters where, it's sunny, it's not that cold, but a lot of people are experiencing severe weather. Matter of fact, as I started to record this, I got a call from the school saying no school tomorrow due to severe weather. Now, this severe weather could just be torrential rain and flooding in a lot of areas that the school buses have to go in, or it could be freezing weather and buses aren't allowed out early in the morning because, they be out like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning picking kids up because they have a shortage of bus drivers. That being said, do you have what you need for your home to stay warm in the event the power goes down in this deep freeze that's happening across the United States? Well, I'm about to tell you about this story. And although it didn't happen in the United States, it could happen. And I want you to be as prepared as you possibly can. So stay tuned in this video. I'm going to give you a list of 30 things. I promise I will make that list really fast so you're not here all day. But let's get into this story first. So there was a deep freeze. Mystery as incident at Putin's top secret bullet factory, which is a factory where he's creating and making all of these bullets for their war. It leads Russians to freeze in minus 30 Celsius. So, matter of fact, a couple of people passed away because of it. There are some reports that have suggested the factory was sabotaged over Putin's failing war in Ukraine as residents were left to fend for themselves in temperatures as low as minus 30. There's a heating power station at the plant where bullets are made for Putin's war broke down as a state of emergency was declared. The incident, which remains shrouded in mystery, left civilians living in the surrounding area without heat. 170 apartment blocks have been left with no heat and temperatures lower than ever in Britain. While unlike here in the United States, if an apartment is going without heat, it's up for the apartment manager or whoever is in charge of that apartment to get heat to that apartment. But in Russia, the government is responsible for providing heat to residents. They're saying that it's warmer outside. They're burning wood to try to stay warm because inside is way too cold. All in all, they say that 700,000 people are being affected across Moscow and other areas. To keep us warm in our home, we need to be making sure we have control of what is happening at our home and not be dependent upon them coming in to rescue us, because we all know and we've seen from history how well they rescue people in the time of need. If it doesn't benefit them, they will take their time. So let's go over 30 things you should have in your home. Check your home to see if you already have these winter preps on hand so you're not tripling up what you need. It's okay to double up, but you don't necessarily need to triple up. So battery packs and mobile chargers before power outages. Now, granted, you don't always know when there's going to be a power outage, but if you know that there is going to be severe weather, you should go ahead and charge up your battery packs or your chargers for your phone. Number 2 is battery powered flashlights and power outages. Make sure you have at least one powerful flashlight that uses replaceable batteries, and make sure you have those batteries. Number 3 is battery powered NOAA weather radio. Also, I keep it plugged in just so I can kind of save my batteries when it comes to that. I don't have batteries in it, but I do have batteries in the home where I can stick them in there if I need to. This is going to keep you updated on what's happening with the weather, especially if the power is out and you don't have that backup generator that can power a TV or something else, where you can find out what exactly is happening with the weather around you. Number 4, we kind of already spoke a little bit about, which is batteries. Make sure you have batteries. Powered devices are useless without plenty of backup of batteries. If you already have batteries, confirm they are compatible with your devices and have not expired. And also make sure, you have that battery charger thing also, because you can reuse those batteries. Some people take theirs and put them in a Ziploc bag, put them in a freezer, then take them out and then reuse them. Sometimes that works, sometimes it don't, but to each his own. Number 5 is a first aid kit, because if you cannot get to the store in the event of emergency, somebody cut themselves or something happens in your home and you need a first aid kit, you already have one. So go ahead and check the one you already have. Make sure you have all of your bandages in there and antiseptic and all this other stuff, antibiotics. Make sure you have that in there so you don't have to try to get out in whatever bad weather, because 9 times out of 10 the store probably won't be open anyway. Number 6 is non-perishable food. Now, mind you, the order that they have this is not necessarily order I have them in my head. How I have them in my head is water is first and non-perishable foods is second. But non-perishable food is number 6 on this list. It says in bad storms, there's no telling how long you're going to be holed up in your home, not being able to get out, power's out. You need shelf-stable food. You need to stock up on high-calorie, non-perishable foods, items such as dried fruits, granola bars, nuts, and other foods that don't require refrigeration or cooking. And what they don't have on here, get you some snacks too, because if you stuck in the house with some people or some kids that's going to drive you nuts, go ahead and get that chocolate that you want. Go ahead and get that soda if you want that soda, okay? Ain't nobody counting no calories that bad in no storm. Number 7 is manual can openers, because you got non-perishable foods and some of those are canned goods. Make sure you have a way to open it, or you're going to be stuck trying to open it with a knife and potentially hurt yourself. And then you need to use that first aid kit. So get you a manual can opener and get more than one, because 9 times out of 10 they break. Number 8 is baby items, because babies' needs do not change in winter storms. They still need their diapers changed. They still need formula. They still need medication and any other baby supplies that you can think of. Number 9 is pet items. Just like babies, their needs don't change either. They're still going to need food. They're still going to need water. You're going to need a lot of pet food and anything else your pet might need, because again, you don't know how long you're going to be stuck in your home. Number 10 is prescription medication. If you run out of prescription medication in a winter storm, what are you to do, especially if it's something that you truly need? And if it's medication that needs to be refrigerated, make sure you have a cooler on hand where you can put ice in that cooler and stick that medication in there just to make sure that it stays the right temp. Number 11 is candles. Now, this is going to be optional for some people, because some people who are older or have children don't want to use candles. And if you do use candles and you have children around, make sure you have it where they cannot knock it over, and explain to them, if you can, if they can understand it, that you do not play with fire. Other than that, get you some candles in case the lights go out, or you can get those garden stake lights, leave them out on a sunny day and bring them in at night, so you can use those as candles. You can walk around with those. They light up really well. Or those little sticky light switches that you get from like the dollar store. I use those often. Also, number 12 is matches. Goes along with candles, right? But whether lighting a candle or a gas stove or starting a fire outside or a heater of some kind, and make sure you're safe when you're doing it, make sure you have matches. Number 13 is shovels. Keeping a shovel on hand to remove snow and ice, things of that nature, definitely a must. If your driveway is packed with snow, you want to keep that or get that as clear as you possibly can before trying to travel out onto the road. Number 14 is a non-electric heat source and the fuel to supply it. So like most homes rely on electricity, not a lot of homes have wood fireplaces or any kind of wood burning stove. So you're relying on electricity for that. So make sure you have some kind of heat source, backup heat source. I have a buddy heater. I have space heaters and stuff like that, but I also have a solar generator in order to power those things. Number 15 is generator and gas. A gas-powered generator is a game changer. If your home loses power for an extended period, just don't forget to stock up on gas ahead of time, and also do not ever have it in the garage or near the home when you're cutting it on, because carbon monoxide is deadly. Now, I have a solar powered, like I said. My husband does have a gas powered one, but it's on his truck. We may get another generator, but y'all know the price of things are so high right now. So we're going to make do with what we can make do. So I have a backup form. I don't have the gas, but I do have a backup. And we do have propane here, so we heat our home with propane. Their number 17 is really my number 1, which is bottled water. When your pipes freeze, bottled water is a must. Plan on having 1 gallon per adult per day. Okay. Store this in a spot that is not too hot or not too cold where it's going to freeze. Do not store it directly on concrete, because you know that stuff leaches into the water and contaminates the water. Number 18 is a thermal emergency blanket or warm clothes. Not everybody can afford to go out and get a thermal blanket or anything like that, but warm clothes, make sure you have those, especially if you out traveling in that severe weather and you get stuck on the side of the road. You want to have a blanket or something in your car. You want to have some snack. Now, this is not on their list, but I'm just telling you, you want to have some kind of snacks or something until somebody can come and rescue you from off the side of the road. But as far as being home, yeah, making sure you have warm clothes and emergency blankets. If your power goes out, you don't have heat, you still have a way to stay somewhat warm. Number 19 is windshield scraper. I already had one, but I bought another one the other day from the dollar store, but the one I had was a little more expensive, but I still wanted a backup one. So I have that in my car, but that's something that, you know, it's optional, because I've seen people because even I have used a plastic cup and went and scraped my windshield when I didn't have one. So it's things you can use. Just don't put hot water on your windshield or you won't have a windshield. We're almost done, you guys. Number 20 is emergency flares. In an emergency, a phone may not work to call for help. Emergency flares let other people know your location when you need assistance. Now, most newer model cars have that SOS on the rearview mirror, so you could use that also. But if you're not in one of those vehicles, yes, having emergency flares would definitely help. And it would help even if you had the SOS, because you don't want to be out on the side of the road and no one can see you. Most homes, you have so much high tech in your home, smart house, all this other stuff. So you know what your thermometer is. But if that's not working, make sure you have a manual indoor thermometer so you can keep track of just what the temperature is within your home. Number 22 is toiletries, because you do go through those really fast when you can't go out and replace them. So I'm not saying go buy up all the toilet paper and all that stuff. And with toiletries, that's not just toilet paper, paper towel. I mean feminine products and all of that stuff too. Make sure you have those things in your home. Number 23 is a multi-tool. Along with a knife, screwdriver, and pliers, multi-tools are handy around the home for maybe having to turn some kind of valve off in case you have freezing pipes, etc. You may want to consider, this is not really on my list, but number 24, contact information. 9 times out of 10, we don't really remember numbers like we used to back in the day, especially if we're not dialing them, you know, not this way. Not the old school dial. If we're not dialing them every single day, we're just hitting a button, send or whatever, we're not paying attention to what that person number is. So if you are that person and can't remember numbers that well, go ahead and write that contact information down so you will have it. Number 25 is games. Making sure you have games are not just for children, games for adults as well. And I'm not just talking about cards because you want to play poker or you want to play Pokino or whatever you call the thing, because I don't play those things. But having games during the winter storm, it can be crucial. It could pass the time by as opposed to sitting around looking at each other or getting annoyed with each other. Number 27 is copies of your personal documents. If you are used to relying on digital copies of personal documents, print out hard copies ahead of the winter storm. Also now they don't have this on here, but I'm telling you, also place them in some kind of waterproof container. Anything that water can't get into. I don't care if you want to use a Ziploc bag. Put it in a Ziploc bag so you have your personal documents in case you have to leave your home during a winter storm because of emergency and they say, hey, we got to evacuate you. If they come knock on your door and say, hey, we got to evacuate you. You don't have time to, try to figure out, do you have this information on you? You're going to need that information. Number 28 is cooler with ice, but I've already talked about the cooler with ice when I talked about having your medications. But of course, the cooler with ice is definitely needed. Number 29 is tire chains. Now, this is not necessary or mandatory to have because tire chains cost a lot of money. At least for my husband's big rig, it costs a lot of money. And when they have to chain up, they have to chain up. But if you got to chain up, I say don't go nowhere, honestly. Where is it that you have to go that you need to put these tire chains on unless they're telling you to evacuate your home? And last, number 30 is storage containers and bags. For everything that you just picked up in this whole video, the 30 items you need, if you have those items, make sure you know where they are. Have them labeled in a container. Get some vacuum sealed bags and get things vacuum sealed up together. Write on it so you know what it is. Write on the outside of the container so you'll know where that container is. Even if somebody else had to pick that container up, they can see it. Hey, this is what it is. They don't need to go through it. Just grab it and go. So y'all stay safe out here this winter. I hope this video was useful and helpful. And if it was, if you got anything from it, please hit that like button. And even if you didn't get anything from it, hit the like button because it will spread the video out to other people and maybe they will find something out that they didn't know that they needed. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And as always, I love you, but God loves you more. He created only one you. Please be the best you that you can be. And when you are, go out and spread God's love. Peace, love, and light. Thanks for being here on Tommy Bites TV and Homestead.
One of the best things you can do for your family is to start a garden, get your seeds, figure out what you're going to grow, where you're going to grow it, how you're going to grow it, and get busy doing that. You don't have to have a garden bed. You can use buckets like you see the white buckets right there. Just do something because relying on someone else is giving them control of what you eat.
I really wanted to get it right, trying to find some balance in my life. I never really put up a fight. And now I'm losing sleep. What if I lost touch? What if I'll never get it right? I try to follow my heart, but I lost it somehow. Wish that someone could say it'll all be okay. Just listen to me as I say. Listen to me as I